I'm sure most of you by now have heard about GPT-3 and ChatGPT, but did you know there are hundreds of other AI tools that enable you to do things that you wouldn't have thought possible just a couple of years ago? In this video, I'll introduce you to 10 awesome curated AI tools that you can put to use right away. And best of all, each tool comes with an API that enables you to use your no-code builder of choice to build the apps of your dreams. Now, before we get started, as always, all the resources, all the things that I'm going to be talking about are going to be available from my Patreon page, which you're going to see in the link below the video. Now, the first tool I want to talk about is called Assembly AI. It's available at assemblyai.com. And this is an incredible tool that allows you to access powerful AI models to transcribe and understand speech. Okay, so this is a great tool in situations where you are dealing with speech, where you need to transcribe speech, where maybe you're building tools having to do with speech, you're building maybe some kind of a video editor or an audio summarizer, things like that. So they continue. We built the latest state-of-the-art AI research to offer production-ready, scalable, and secure AI models through a simple API. Okay, so if you come over to use cases, you can see that you can use it when it comes to telephony, video, virtual meetings, media, and pretty much many other use cases where speech is involved. And so we can head over to Playground just to see this tool, how it works, and try Assembly's AI API in seconds. And so it wants us to test using a YouTube link, audio file, or video file. Okay, so the idea is it's going to extract the audio and then do some transcribing. So what we're going to do is we're going to view sample result. And so what it did is it created a transcript with each of the speakers separated. So you can see exactly who is saying what. And we also have a summary right here. We also have things like important phrases, and you can probably include other data here as well. Now, another really nice thing about this tool is it comes with a very rich and comprehensive API. So if you scroll down, you will see some sample codes that enable you to use this API in order to build apps that leverage the functionality of this tool. And so here you have a couple of language examples, but since we're not going to be writing an app using one of these languages, you're just going to be using it just like a regular API. And so you can click on try the API to kind of learn more about it, but it's very simple. You have an endpoint here. This is where you're going to be connecting to. Here you have your body, which is the URL containing the audio file. And then you have headers, and then you're just going to make a request and you're going to get the response back. And obviously you can configure this with a lot of other parameters depending on your specific use case. And so this is a really powerful tool if you are dealing with any kind of audio or video, because, well, a video typically has audio which you can extract. Now, the next tool I want to show you is a very futuristic tool. It's called DID. And this is about generative AI. And so they allow you to produce customized videos featuring talking avatars at a touch of a button, giving you business and creative superpowers. And this is one of the more kind of innovative tools on my list, because what you can do here is you can take an image of a person, right? And you can create videos out of it, right? So create videos from photos, okay? And so this is kind of what they're talking about. AI technology takes images of faces and turns them into high quality photorealistic videos, okay, at a touch of a button. And so you can kind of preview this right here. So if you click that, you can see what the image looks like, right? This is obviously, not a real person talking. This is, a person that was created using this tool. And obviously you can create all this using a very simple API. You can just head over to API and you have a digital human API, seamlessly add talking head videos to your product using our generative AI API. And so as easy as 1, 2, 3, right? Send a picture of the person, send an audio or a text file, and it's going to go ahead and create a talking head video, which is incredible. So here's another really quick sample right here. And so take a look. That looks fairly realistic to me. Honestly, that looks really, really realistic. And so here are some use cases, scale up production. I'll explain their video. So there's a lot of use cases, right? There's a lot of use cases. You can create YouTube videos. You can create some interesting content. And this is a tool that's available at d-id.com. Now, the next tool I want to introduce you to is called Murph.ai. And this allows you to go from text to speech with a versatile AI voice generator. So it's AI enabled, real people's voices, okay? Make studio quality voiceovers in minutes. Use Murph's lifelike AI voices for podcasts, videos, and all your professional presentations. Okay, so there's a voice for every need: creative, corporate, entertainment, various voices that you can check out. And so here you can customize how your voiceover sounds. You can, you have a vast library of voices. Choose from over 120 plus text to speech voices in 20 plus languages. Add video, music, or image. And so you can create amazing voices. Okay, so this is another tool that has to do with audio, but this is a tool that allows you to create, realistic voiceovers. Okay, so I'm sure there's lots of interesting use cases that you can put this tool to use. And more importantly, they have an API that you can connect to and do all of this programmatically using your app builder, such as Flutterflow, for instance. So this is another really great tool that you should check out. The next tool I want to show you is a very interesting and a cool tool, and this allows you to turn text into memes using AI. So describe your thoughts and let AI create original memes for you in 110 plus languages. Okay, so here's a sample meme. Your manager congratulating you for the viral meme you created. You who just use super meme AI. So that's a cool meme, right? Memes are big these days, whether you're aware of this or not. You can check out Twitter. You see everybody using memes. On Instagram, people are using memes. Even in YouTube videos, people are using memes because they are able to convey the meaning very quickly and effectively. Okay, so if you scroll down, you can see some more ideas, right? When you've been in meetings all day and you're exhausted, etc., right? And of course, they have an API. So you can simply click here and you have a very simple but powerful API. So here's a sample request. Okay, you can, there's your text to generate memes. That's it, just a sample body. And you're getting back sample responses, memes, caption, more things. And so this is a very interesting tool that you can put to good use and build something on top of this API, build something interesting using your favorite no-code builder. Now, the next tool I want to show you is called Luma Labs, and it's available at lumalabs.ai. And this tool allows you to create 3D renders of various objects, right? So if you check out this main page here, you can simply capture images of an object, and it's going to create 3D kind of animations, 3D renders of that object. So very cool. Lots and lots of applications, obviously, right? You can do it for, showing homes, showing various objects. If you're selling something, lots and lots of interesting things that you can do, obviously. And this tool, of course, has an API, right? So if you click on this API, you're going to get access to all the API and you'll be able to do it programmatically. So this could be a nice tool when used in more kind of professional settings, right? In situations where you're trying to build an app, maybe you're trying to build an app for like real estate agents, for businesses that sell various products, and they can take a couple of pictures and you're going to be able to generate a full 3D render of that object. So there are obviously lots and lots of possibilities, lots and lots of use cases for this specific tool. Now, the next tool I want to show you is called AI, and you can find it right here. And this tool allows you to extract things like vocals, various instruments from any audio or video, high quality stem splitting based on world's #1 AI powered technology, right? So if you scroll down, you will see that this is a next generation vocal remover and music source separation service for fast, easy, and precise stem extraction. Remove vocal, instrument, drums, bass, piano, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and synthesizer tracks without quality loss, okay? So I actually tested it out and it works perfectly because right here we have a sample that has vocals and instruments. And then if we play one of these, you're just going to hear either instruments or just vocals here. And it worked really, really good. And this is probably more of a niche tool because this is going to be useful to those who are kind of in the music industry or dealing with music, and you are interested in kind of mixing a new track or creating, some type of new music, things like that. But if this tool is something that you're interested in, you can also check out tools and API. You can simply click here and you're going to get access to their APIs, which allows you essentially to build apps that will leverage this tool. So this is more of a niche tool, but if you are somebody that's kind of involved in this industry or has some very innovative ideas having to do with music, instruments, vocals, etc., you will find it very, very useful. Now, the next tool I want to show you is a more of a general purpose tool, and it's called Let's Enhance, and it's available at let'senhance.io. And this tool is an image enhancer and an upscaler, and it allows you to do things such as, more details, better colors, higher quality, so that you can print things for the web, etc., for mobile. And so if you scroll down, you will see this is the before picture and this is the after picture, right? So if you have a low quality picture or maybe a lower resolution picture, you can upscale it and it's going to create, a fairly decent picture right here. And so here they say upscale pictures without losing quality up to 16 times, make your pics high resolution, HD, 4K or bigger, automatically enhance your images for personal and business needs. Okay, so lots and lots of use cases, creative professionals, e-commerce, real estate, etc., blow up photos for large size prints. So something like for like an exhibit, museum exhibit, or just a general exhibit, automatically edit product photos. So obviously there's lots and lots of things that you can do with this tool. And of course they have an API, right? So you can click here, you can kind of learn more about it. And this will essentially allow you to build any kind of app using your favorite no-code tool for your users. So definitely have a look at this tool. Think of some ideas. As far as I'm concerned, there's many, many things that you can do having to do with images, right? Images are all over the place. So I'm sure there's, tons and tons of demand for making images better. So this is a great tool that you can use to make interesting apps. Now, the next tool I want to show you is called Uber. And this is another voice tool, but it's different than the tools I talked about previous. This is the open source voice AI community, okay? Make AI voiceovers with 5,000 expressive voices. Build killer audio apps in minutes with our APIs. Synthesize yourself with your own custom voice clone, and you can even join their community. So here are some of the things this tool does. Things like text to speech, custom voice clones, AI generated raps, things like that. So here we have a case study of how this tool was used in the real world. But you can click on API documentations and you can see that this is a very, very simple API. You just need to create an API key and secret, and you can simply generate speech, right? So this is our speech. This is our request. This is our speech, and we have the voice here, and you're going to get back this response here, this ID. And then once you have this ID, you can input it here, and you're going to get back a WAV file, which is your audio file. And you can list voices, you can speak as a certain voice. This is a great tool if you want to maybe clone your own voice and do voiceovers with your own voice, or use another voice for voiceovers. So definitely check it out, uberdoc.ai. The next tool I want to show you is called One AI, and it's available at oneai.com. And this is generative AI for your business. Okay, deploy the world's best language AI in your product within days. Select from our library, fine tune, or build your own capabilities to analyze and process text, audio, and video at scale. So lots of things that it can do, such as language skills, language analytics, audio intelligence, stuff like that. And if you scroll down, you can even try out the API. And of course, they have a fully functioning API that you can use. So this is the sample text, and we can click one of the buttons below depending on what we want to do with it. So for instance, we can summarize this text, and this is what we get back, which is kind of cool if you ask me, right? Very, very succinct. I can read this and I can kind of understand what they were talking about. I can click on topics, and then we have a topic. So intelligence, comp sci, artificial intelligence. You can click on sentiment, and it's going to tell you whether it's positive or negative, right? So this is positive, was highly influential. So it looks like the sentiment is fairly positive, but here's negative because he was prosecuted and then he died, which is negative. So you can take a look at the sentiment of the overall text, names and numbers, right? You can even recognize names and numbers. Now, what we can do is we can click on Studio and we can learn more of the functionalities of this amazing tool. So for instance, you can insert your text here or try one of the samples. So let's go to sample library. Let's try this sales call. So we can click on sample library and we can try the sales call right here. And it pastes a sample transcription of a sales call. And then you can do all kinds of interesting analytics using AI. So for instance, this is our sales call and we can click on topics. Here are the topics. It's also showing us the names, numbers, and time. And here's a bunch of things that you can do. You can summarize it. You can add something else. You can do highlights as well. So we can click on highlights. There's some highlights in here. And I can also do other things, right? Emotions, sentiments, sales insights, service insights, etc., etc. And obviously you can check out some of the other things, productivity, email at a glance. I can click on this email and I can get more information about this email, right? So I can get names, numbers, I can see topics, and I really like the summary, right? So this is a long email, right? There's lots of things happening, but the summary is pretty direct, right? The summary is very good. And if you scroll down, you will see API that's being generated. So you always want to click on C URL, which is curl right here, and that way you can see the request. You're seeing the input body, you're seeing the headers here, and then if you scroll down, you're gonna see the JSON response right here, and this is this JSON response. Now, if you click on analytics, you can see different things such as reviews, service inline, Reddit, right? Different information. And then it's essentially telling you it's summarizing you and giving you more information as to what is happening. And so this is an awesome tool for doing things like, analytics, understanding text, looking at sentiment, summarizing stuff like that. And I can see this tool being used as a tool for businesses, as a tool to analyze, things having to do with maybe a small business or a medium-sized business. So another really interesting tool that you can build apps on top of and most likely sell them to small or medium-sized businesses. Now, last but not least, I want to show you an amazing resource that allows you to run all kinds of AI models. And I actually talked about this tool before, but just in case you missed that video, check out the site called replicate.com. This is an amazing site. It's actually not a single tool. It's more of a place where people upload and experiment with different models. And these are models having to do with images, having to do with voice, having to do with audio, lots and lots of interesting models that allow you to create images, create voice, do transcription, all kinds of very, very interesting things. So this is slightly different than the other tools on this list, but I still wanted to include this because I've been using it myself in a couple of projects. I've been experimenting with it myself, and I found it very, very useful. So check out replicate.com. You can play around with some of the things that it does and get an idea of what's really possible with AI these days. Now, if you guys are watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, these are amazing, amazing tools, and I actually want to build apps that are going to interface with one or several of these tools via an API. And maybe you want to launch this app to the masses, or maybe you want to launch this app to several select businesses in a particular niche. And so if that's the case, you definitely need to check out my Patreon community, because when you join my Patreon community, not only will you get access to all the apps that I build in tools such as Flutterflow, as well as other no-code builders. And that means you can view and or clone the actual app. And I built lots of apps using AI, which means you're going to get a head start. But not only that, you also get access to extra content such as Q&As, live streams, some of the behind the scenes content, as well as my Patreon exclusive masterclass series where I do a deep dive on specific topics that our community votes on. So you're going to get access to tons of extra content, which is going to skyrocket your no code knowledge and possibly your no code career as well. Plus, by joining our Patreon community, you're going to be supporting this channel and supporting my work, which is highly appreciated. And so if that sounds something you may be interested in, then definitely check out the link in the description below. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video and you're looking to see another video having to do with building all kinds of interesting AI apps, check out the video you are seeing in the corner of your screen. That is a great example of how you can build amazing no-code AI apps.